Hello, today we'll be talking about Salamence, the final evolution of Bagon, who evolves into Shelgon, who evolves at level 50. Mega Salamence is the first dragon-flying type Mega Evolution. Its previous PYC dates are March 5th, 1997, December 25th, 1999, October 15th, 2002, August 5th, 2005, May 26th, 2008, March 17th, 2011, January 5th, 2014, October 26th, 2016, August 17th, 2019, and June 7th, 2022. I like the story of a dinosaur-like Pokémon wanting to fly so much that it becomes a dragon. I most know Salamence as the attraction chief of Salamence's Air Race and Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. As for its design, it's one of my favorites of the dragon-type Pokemon, mostly because it's mostly blue. As for Mega Salamence, it's certainly an iconic Mega Evolution. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's certainly interesting. I find the fact that it's the only Mega Evolution to get a Paradox Pokemon, I think, more interesting. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we talk about Salamence, the dragon Pokemon, whose number is 0373. This is Salamence, this is what it looks like. This is Mega Salamence, this is what it looks like. Type is dragon flying. Abilities, Intimidate. Salamence, Moxie is its ability. Aerolate is Mega Salamence's ability. Gender ratio 50-50, catch rate is 45 or 11.9%. Breeding is egg group. Dragon, hatch time 40 cycles. As Salamence is 4'11" and 1.5 meters, and 226.2 pounds, and 102.6 kilograms. As Mega Salamence, it's 5'11" or 1.8 meters, and 248.2 pounds, or 112.6 kilograms. Megastone is Salamencite. Base experience skills 218 in Gen 3 through 4, and 270, 5+. Leveling rate is slow, Evield is 3 in attack, shape is that, footprint is that, Pokedex color is blue, and base friendship is 35. Salamence is a dual-type dragon/flying pseudo-legendary Pokemon introduced in Gen 3. It evolves from Shelgon, starting at level 50. It is the final form of Bagon. Salamence can Mega Evolve into Mega Salamence using this Salamencite. The Paradox Pokemon Roaring Moon is said to be an ancient relative of Mega Salamence. Biology: Salamence is a quadrupedal, draconic Pokemon with a long, tapering tail. It is primarily blue with a gray lower jaw and thickly scaled underside. There are red markings on its throat, the underside of its tail, and stripes on the inner surface of its legs. Additionally, there are raised red ridges above its eyes. 3 flat fins protrude from either side of its head, possibly acting in the same manner that a canard would on an aircraft. It has 2 pairs of pointed teeth, one in the upper jaw and one in the lower. Each of its short legs has 3 claws. Salamence is considered an unusual Pokemon due to the circumstances of its evolution. Its fervent desire to fly triggered a cellular mutation that allowed it to suddenly grow large red wings. Pokemon the series Ruby and Sapphire reference sheet. You got all the different angles, the back, bottom side. Its long-held dream fulfilled at last, Salamence constantly flies around and releases intense blasts of fire as an expression of its joy. It only stops flying when it gets exhausted and needs to sleep. If enraged, it loses all sense of self and flies into an uncontrollable rampage, destroying everything around it until it tires itself out. It lives in rough terrain and competes with Garchomp mid-air for food. Form: Salamence can Mega Evolve into Mega Salamence. As Mega Salamence, its wings meld together into a single huge crescent-shaped wing. Its face, neck, body, and tail are narrower, and its tail is noticeably shorter in length. The ridges above its eyes are now far less prominent, and it no longer possesses the thick gray scaling over its lower jaw. Instead, the smooth red flesh underneath has been left exposed, increasing its streamlined appearance. The upper pair of fins resting on the sides of its head are now elongated and tapered. The lower pair has not changed much, however. The middle set now takes the form of quarter arches spanning towards the bridge of the nose. The remnants of its shell underbelly have been drastically transformed into a segmented, more aerodynamic vest-like armored frame. This frame encases its chest and shoulders, with the pieces interlocking whenever Mega Salamence tucks in its front forelegs. Roaring Moon bears a resemblance to Mega Salamence, though the potential connection between the two is unknown. According to Mega Evolution Special 2, the hard yet very flexible properties of its wings allow them to be used as blades in mid-air battles. The stress of Salamence's vaunted wings becoming misshapen in its Mega Evolution aggravates it to the point of rampaging. This fuels its already brutal nature and makes it likely to turn against the trainer who raised it. Because of this, Mega Salamence is feared as the blood-soaked crescent. Anything and anyone in Salamence's path gets sliced in two by its blade-like wings, posing no interruption to its flight. Mega Salamence. Evolution: Salamence evolves from Shelgon as the final form of Bagon, so Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence. Game data, NPC appearances, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Gates to Infinity. Salamence is a member of Muna's gang, working for Kyrurem to stop any humans called upon by Hydreigon. from destroying the bitter cold. He aids his companions in pursuing the player and their partner, but are outmaneuvered by Hydreigon. Salamence, along with 2 Chandelure, later attempt to stop the player and their allies from reaching the Glacier Palace, but are defeated. Pokedex entries in Gen 3 and Ruby. Salamence came about as a result of a strong, long-held dream of growing wings. It is said that this powerful desire triggered a sudden mutation in his Pokemon cells, causing it to sprout its magnificent wings. Sapphire. By evolving into Salamence, this Pokemon finally realizes its long-held dream of growing wings. To express its joy, it flies and wheels all over the sky, while spouting flames from its mouth. Emerald. After many long years, its cellular structure underwent a sudden mutation to grow wings. When anchored, it loses all thought and rampages out of control. Emerald. After many long years, its cellular structure underwent a sudden mutation to grow wings. When anchored, it loses all thought and rampages out of control. Sapphire Red and Leaf Green. It becomes uncontrollable if enraged. It destroys everything with shredding claws and fire. In Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. As a result of its long-held dream of flying, its cellular structure changed and wings grew out. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's uncontrollable if enraged. It flies around spouting flames and scorching fields and mountains. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinums. In Gen 6, X is Fire Red and Leaf Green's entry. Y is Heart Gold and Soul Silver's entry. Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, basically Ruby and Sapphire, but Salamence and Pokemon are now the correct casing. In Gen 7 for regular Salamence and Sun. When anchored, it loses all sense of itself and destroys everything around it. The destruction will continue until Salamence has tired itself out. Moon. It flies around on its wings, which have grown and at last. In its happiness, it gushes hot flames, burning up the fields it passes over. Ultra Sun, overjoyed at finally being able to fly, flies all over the place, and usually doesn't land until it's completely exhausted and needs to sleep. Ultra Moon. Next to its fervent wishes, the cells in its body finally mutated, and at last it has its heart's desire, wings. Mega Salamence and Sun. Anyone standing in its path gets sliced right in two, while this Pokemon continues its flight without interruption. Moon. Mega Evolution fuels its brutality, and it may even turn on the trainer who raised it. It's been dubbed the Blood-Soaked Crescent. Ultra Sun. The stress of its 2 proud wings becoming misshapen and stuck together because of strong energy makes it go on a rampage. Ultra Moon. It puts its forelegs inside a shell to streamline itself for flight. Salamence flies at high speeds over all kinds of topographical features. In Gen 8's Sword, Salamence is an unusual Pokemon in that it was able to evolve a body with wings just by constantly wishing to be able to fly. Shield. While basking in the joy of flight generally keeps this Pokemon in high spirits, Salamence turns into an uncontrollable menace if something angers it. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, their Diamond and Pearl counterpart. In Gen 9, Scarlet is Salamance's Moon entry. Violet is Fire Red, Leaf Green, and X's entry. Salamence in the Alola Pokedex. Mega Salamence in the Alola Pokedex. Salamence in the Paldea Pokedex. You can see it flying around in the rain. That's fun. Game locations. Side game locations. And events. Held items. Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. It has the Dragon Fang 5% of the time. In Sword and Shield, it has the Dragon Fang with the expansion pass 5% of the time. Stats, base stats. I'll compare Salamence and Mega Salamence. HP 95, that stays the same. Attack 135, that goes up to 145. Defense 80, that goes up to 130. Special attack 110, that goes up to 120. Special defense 80, that goes up to 90. Speed 100, that goes up to 120. This one has a total of 600, this one has a total of 700. Pokeathlon stats. Type effectiveness, damage normally by normal, flying, poison, ghost, steel, electric, psychic, and dark. Weak to rock, dragon, and fairy, all for double, and ice for 4. Immune to ground, resistant to fighting, bug, fire, and water for half, and grass for a fourth. Notes: if gravity is in effect, this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball or a Ring Target, or is affected by Smackdown, or Ingrain. The effectiveness of ground-type moves is 1, so go from 0 to 1. Learn Step by leveling up. We'll do this Evo here, and then go down to 50, so upon evolution it gets Fly. 55, Flamethrower, and 73, Double Edge. By TM we're skipping, by breeding we're skipping, nothing by prior evolution. Side game data, you got all this. Pokemon Ranger in the browser entry. Salamence roars to set off earthquakes. It also shoots a beam from its mouth. Shadows of Olmia. It lets loose shockwaves and breathes powerful flames. Guardian Signs. It attacks by launching a large blue fireball. Got all this. Pokepark Wii, Pikachu's Adventure, the Pokepark Pad entry. Salamence is the attraction chief of Salamance's Air Race in the Granite Zone. Pokepark 2, Wonders Beyond. He likes the tech area. He thinks the area is comfortable because it is warm and dry. I got all that. For Mega Salamence, got that. Form data, Mega Evolution, Salamence, Salamencite, Mega Salamence. Evolution data, Bagon, level 30, Shelgon, level 50 Salamence. So sprites here, so a lot more purple than this kind of blue, or at least like this kind of blue instead of that kind of blue, I guess. Then orange instead of the red parts. Very interesting. It's Also, the eye things, especially these things, the eyebrow things look a little bit different. Yeah, so the back sprite's very interesting. A little goofy. Yeah. Gen 4 is when we get introduced to this sort of lighter blue, and these sort of eyebrow things are a lot different. Green for the shiny, I think like the other two were. Yeah, this looks a little less goofy, the back sprite. Yep. Gen 5 is what introduces the red color, and then also you get the full back sprites as well. Yes. But the shiny keeps the orange, that's fun. Gen 6, you get the models. So probably slightly different colors, but more or less the same, actually. Then you get Mega Salamance's model, pretty good. Got this one. So, shiny Mega Salamance's model, so it's, basically the same, a little darker. I guess that one's also, a little darker colors, but generally the same concept. Then Gen 7, you got all these, not really much changes. You got Holmes models. In animation, Salamence in Pokemon Journey to Series XY, and Mega Salamence in Pokemon the Series XY. I guess J Salamence is the big one. Got all this. Pokedex entries in Pokemon Chronicles, episode 18, in Richie's Pokedex. Salamence, a dragon Pokemon, fully evolved form of Bagon, equipped with sharp teeth and massive claws, weighs over 200 pounds, and has the fastest flying speed of all the flying-type Pokemon. In Advanced Generation, episode 101 in May's Pokedex, Salamence, the dragon Pokemon. Salamence is the final evolution of Bagon. It is able to exhale powerful blasts of fire while flying. In Diamond and Pearl, episode 20, in Dawn's Pokedex, Salamence, the dragon Pokemon. As a result of a powerful desire to fly, Salamence were able to trigger the cells in their body and cause them to grow wings. In XY, episode 128, in Serena's Pokedex, Salamence, the dragon Pokemon. Constant dreams of flight caused a shift in cellular structure. When it evolved, Salamence finally grew wings. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire animated trailer, Mega Salamence in the animated trailer. Pokemon Generations, Salamence and Pokemon Generations. I think we've seen this image before. Gotcha. Pokemon Evolutions, Mega Salamence and Pokemon Evolutions. Xenia Salamence is the big one. In the manga, Salamence and Pokemon Adventures, all in color. Got all this. Mega Salamence and Pokemon Adventures, also in color. Got all this, and the TCG, and the TFG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Salamence appears as a spirit. Trivia. This first point I read in the Horsey video. The second point I basically read in the Shelgon video. Salamence is the only pseudo-legendary Pokemon introduced before Gen 9, who is not known to be owned by a member of the current Masters 8 in Pokemon Journeys the series. Origin. Salamence seems to be based on the archetypal European dragon. It may also be based on a salamander, most likely the Hida Salamander, or Anderson Salamander. This is backed up by Salamence featuring 3 prominent finlets on either side of its head, which can be interpreted as external gills. These external gills are typical for many species of amphibians. It might take inspiration from the mythical animal of the same name, which is often conflated with dragons or treated as a dragon, as evidenced by its ability to learn numerous fire-type moves by leveling up, and its Pokedex entry describing its propensity for breathing fire. Mega Salamance's wing and head shape resemble that of a fighter jet. Mega Salamence tucking in its front legs into the gaps on its belly, as well as its stiff yet flexible wings, may be based on hang gliding. Its name, the blood-soaked crescent, could be a reference to blood moons. Name origin, Salamence may be a combination of salamander and menace, vengeance, vehemence, violence, or immense. Bowmander may be a combination of bow, violent, and salamander. In other languages, related articles, notes, external links to the pseudo-legendary Pokemon, and the Mega Evolutions. Let's move on. Now let's watch Salamence's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are watching Jirachi Wishmaker. In this film, Ash Ketchum, the main character, traveling companions Brock, May, and Max, as well as his faithful Pokemon Pikachu, have met the Great Butler, a magician, and his assistant Diane, as well as Jirachi, Absol, and Flagon. The Great Butler has captured Jirachi and is using Jirachi's powers to try to reawaken Groudon. And Ash, Max, and Pikachu, who are riding on the Flagon, are coming to sort of save Jirachi, and the Great Butler is sending out a Pokemon to stop them. There's a Salamence.
Get rid of them! Salamence!
Oh, he's running out of Salamence. Okay.
Flygon, watch out! Max and Pikachu, you go free Jirachi. Flygon and I will distract Butler. Stop that machine! Pikachu! Jirachi!
Yeah, I would say that is Salamence's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's see why other people love Salamence. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Now we're starting fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Salamence. This first one doesn't contain a Salamence, so we'll move on to the second one. This is Pokemon Salamence by Mark331. This fun image of a Salamence here. Yeah, this looks to be from 2012. Yeah, very well done. Get flying around and stuff. All effects on the ground, that's fun. Then we've got Salamence and Flygon by Ekalataka. So it's Salamence and Flygon by Ekalataka. Seems to be from December 2003, I think. So you've got the Salamence fighting this Flygon here. Depending on where they live, this might be a reference to the scene we watched earlier. If they don't live in America, or probably anywhere outside of Japan, this can't be a reference because the movie didn't come out until 2004 here. But if they do live in Japan, this is a very interesting reference that Americans wouldn't be able to understand. Yeah, very well done. Then we've got Pokemon Mega Salamence by Saw Dewey. So we've got a Mega Salamence here, this nice image here, nice effects and stuff. Then we've got Salamence by Chaos Draco, or Carlos Herrera. Yeah, it's probably the same person. It's from 2018. Yeah, I guess, yeah. So this nice, realistic, Salamence here. Seems like it just killed this, Mareep here. Yeah, eating its blood or whatever. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Then this doesn't contain a Salamence, so we'll move on. Next to everyone who submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight, as I need to wait until I've talked about Kyogre before I can evolve Shelgon into Salamence. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Beldum. As always, this is my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.